The aim of this video is to create good interactive buttons for a website that will be changeable and interactive. So there'll be one colour when they're up on the page. When you hover over them, they'll change again, and when you press down on them, they'll change again. So let's click on Fireworks File, and we're going to make these buttons all 140 by 40, and always set it at transparent. Okay, this screen comes up. Now you want to press and hold with the left button on this, and go down till you find the shape rounded rectangle and draw it in. Now that, I would suggest, needs to be about 130 by 35. Why? So it fits in the box. This is the border style. Just make that yellow and make that 2. See, it's standing nicely out now. Okay, well, I never really liked white, so there you go, there's grey. So there's our button. Okay, you can, of course, if you wanted to, have far more effects if you go to gradient there. Say if I had that, I could then change the colours here. Like, so I've just clicked on the colour, change the yellow or the grey, or just have it like that, you know. But obviously I feel that's a bit vulgar and over the top, so I'm going to leave it like this. And I'm going to leave it at 19-point font size. That looks good to me. And the buttons, if you remember from the planning, that we need to design are a search button, an email button, and a help button. So the longest word probably there is search, and maybe again just have that yellow around it. You don't have to, but when you come into designing your over graphic, you can change that also to green or another colour, so it gives you more options. Right, now, as I've explained in the drop down menu one as well, what we could do is actually design a graphic to go with it. So we go on Google, we type in search button, and we go to images. Now that will be fine. That's probably the best one I'm going to find, and you can obviously spend longer getting a good or designing your own one yourself. Okay, now that looks a bit pants, that sort of size, but if you narrow it down, there you go. Now, white box time. Well, let's just zoom in. I've just literally done that by clicking on here and going to 400%. Magic wand, selecting the stuff, the white stuffies, and then okay, and then we're going to zoom out. I think, yeah, top corner. Right, I'm relatively happy with that. Okay, so then we select everything, and what do we press? F8, and we convert it to a button. Click OK. Then we double click on the shaded area, and we get our up, our over, our down, our over while down, and our active area. Up, that's what it's going to look like when it's up on the page. Over, copy the up graphic and change it. So let's change that to black. Now, if you remember, I was saying there that there's the yellow. Let's change that to green. And that graphic is now not looking quite as good. So maybe we're going to use the blur tool on this. And just right. Okay, and zoom out again. Okay, it actually looks like it's got an effective shadow now, which I'm quite happy about. I'm going to go to copy this graphic, and I'm going to change it again. And this time I need to change the horrible. Red, no. Let's have a think. What was the other one? The one was black. Well, if that's the case, we're going to need to change this line colour to black. Okay, and maybe this as well. Change that to black. Yes. Okay, so we've got an up button. It's grey, yellow. We've got a black over, and press down and it goes green. Right, okay. Now over while down can be the same as down, and the active area on this, well, this can go to http google.co.uk, the English search is better. Okay, and the advantage of doing it this way, you're going to an external website, remember, is click on underscore blank, which means it'll bring up a fresh web page, so you won't lose your one. So you're clicking, you're getting a new tab up. Okay, this button's done, so I'm going to save it now. In, not my pictures, that would be awful. I'm going to save it in my Unit 21 folder, buttons, and I'm going to call this search. Now, we've done search, right? Well, it's going to be difficult to find all those colours again, to also remember them. So the easiest way of doing this, if you want to create another button like a help button, is just change it to help. Update the text in the other button so it's yes, 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 and it's all changed. That's really good. And this can then go to, I mean, you could have the help as a page on your website, which would mean it just go to help.htm, but it doesn't matter. You're making a button, and you're proving you can make a button. So it's got an overstate, and it's called help.com. It's going to help.com. Then we go file, and we must go to save as, and we save it as help. You need to do one more after this, and you've got your 3. So, and that's obviously an A grade piece of work. To consider doing a button that's a little bit lower in terms of a C grade or a B grade, well, what I would say is that the colour and styles wouldn't be quite as good. Maybe you wouldn't have a picture, and quite possibly you wouldn't have a downstate, you just have up and overs. So it's just as well, it's just as easy. It's no harder to design an A grade button than it is a B grade button. Okay, and that's it.